guess what? I'm wearing my watch again, and do you know what that means? That means I've been leaving the house. Say you have like an activity tracker, right? And you don't go anywhere and you don't leave the house. It feels like shit when you look at your watch at the end of the day and you got like 500 steps. Long story short, I've been wearing my watch again because I'm being active. I will say, it was not easy being able to keep up a routine. Okay. Well, it's pretty fucking clear that I've never been able to have a morning routine. Just like my love life, I have a problem staying consistent, really. Well, that's not true. I am consistent about one thing. Great intentions, but not when it comes to finishing my coffee. And every morning I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a cup of coffee because I need it. I literally drink like nothing. I have a problem with doing anything less than 100%. And you might be thinking, what's wrong with that? Do things at 100%, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Well, in terms of my routine, there's something wrong with that. Because I try to either do everything or nothing at all. And if I don't do everything, then I feel like a failure. And if I do nothing, I also feel like a failure. So it's like I never really win here. In my last morning routine video, I ended up just focusing on two things, which was my morning pages and my movement, which was helpful, and I did do it. You know, I still do my morning pages every day. But at the time, I also kind of considered movement to just make breakfast. So don't judge me. You're watching this video because you also feel like this, right? But I think that whole thing was an improvement from me really waking up 2 minutes before I had to get onto work. But it still really wasn't enough because I would still go through the day thinking, oh, I really should meditate, or oh, I really need to clean my room, or go outside, honestly. And then I found this app called Fabulous. It's basically an app that will help you slowly integrate your habits and morning, nighttime, and afternoon routine. And I want to emphasize the word slowly because it will force you to do it slowly, which is completely needed for me because like I said, I do everything at 100%. I've wanted to add like a million habits at once and they're like, wait, you know you shouldn't do that. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll listen and I'll surrender to you. Bye. So my morning starts with me getting up, usually feeling like shit. The Fabulous app forces the first thing for you to implement is to drink water. And it was kind of revolutionary how much drinking water helped me not feel like shit. It was weird. I still do my morning pages. I'll take my pills and I'll brush and wash my face and then exercise for 8 minutes. And soon the app helped me to build more things like meditating, eating breakfast, and practicing gratitude. This whole routine takes me about a whole hour, which is not a big deal now that I've integrated it slowly. It was really nice to have a morning routine. Even if I forgot what it was, like I could still be like, oh, what's next? Next button. It's pretty cool. I never said I was perfect. Okay, so I already fucked up. It's literally 2 a.m. The second night in a row where I went to sleep really late. Not getting enough sleep started to really affect me.
The reason as to why I keep paintbrushes next to my bedside is beyond me. I cannot explain past me. Honestly, be grateful that this is on camera because my brain's stink. But it's like nearly 2 a.m. and I haven't slept because I was up watching 20-somethings in Austin. Was it worth it? Probably not. Will I pass out now? Oh dear God, I hope so.
And the next morning, I regret everything. Just kidding. I'm kind of a workaholic. You know, I don't know how to stop working ever. I feel like I'm a little bit proud of being a workaholic, even though it's probably not a good thing to be a workaholic, you know? Running myself at 100% for so long will eventually catch up to me. Like, my body is like, stop, and my brain is like, let's go. Because the brain doesn't have to do all the stuff the body does. Like, come on. Hey guys, I feel pretty sick and gross. But getting sick did force me to slow down. I just meditated. So today's Thursday, and I usually go to this meditation group in SF, but I don't live in the city anymore, so it's harder for me to get in there, and I just like don't leave the house much. Probably why I'm in a bad mood. I just decided I would meditate anyway. I ended up going on YouTube to find one, but I was like, no, I'm just gonna do the flow meditation as I was taught on a meditation group. And finally get that full night of rest that I really needed. And the next morning, I could wake up early and do my routine and be productive as I do, as I try to be. And having a consistent morning routine surprisingly really made me feel so good. And I can't explain it. I've never woken up in the morning and felt good. that was so life-changing. Morning depression sucks. And it also gave me leeway to understand my mood throughout the day, because now I wasn't just like angry all day. I was like, I'm okay, and then
You know what I've realized is that I get in a really bad mood during my work hours. If anybody comes to speak to me, I will literally snap at them, and I feel like such a bitch and I feel like such an asshole. But people just gotta know that I hate everyone while I'm at work, and I cannot talk to anybody if I'm working busy season hours. And I'm just scared that I will leave and never come back.
knowing it was helpful, but I still didn't know how to really fix that. But soon, the Fabulous app did help me get into a nighttime routine, and this helped my sleep cycle. What? You know, I never thought I would ever be excited for my nighttime routine. For my nighttime routine, what I'll do is I'll unplug, I'll drink some water, and then I'll clean up my room. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be gnarly.
And I'll practice self-care for 30 minutes, and sometimes that means I'll paint, and sometimes I'll literally just pull an oracle card and journal.
Sometimes it is through uncomfortable learning that we find our treasure. Pandora reminds us that the process of learning can take us to a lot of places that seem like the end of our world, and yet all is not lost.
I've also started to get into reading poetry. Sometimes I choose to read some Emily Dickinson, who is now my favorite poet, by the way. Mwah. But next was to figure out this mood thing. I came to the realization that the reason I am in such a bad mood from like my work hours is because I don't take any breaks. And I know that I should be, but I never set an alarm or even follow through on it because I just feel like it's stupid or something. I really don't leave my desk unless I need to pee or stress eat. Like sometimes I'm even too lazy to walk across my room to get my water bottle. I try to create like a self-care day. I'm supposed to be doing self-care today. So I went to the gym. I just got back from the gym. Yeah, I'm going to a gym now. Applause. Thank you. Thank you. But there's a lot of part of me that's still like, I really need to get work done today, and I really, really want to work on things, and I gotta get work. But do I force myself? Because I really want to work, because I planned a day for self-care? See, because I'm scared that tomorrow I won't be motivated. So I'm like, we'll see. I'll take my sweet ass time eating dinner. If that means I do a tiny bit of work, does that mean I'm breaking the rules? Because I don't like to break the rules. It wasn't sustainable for me to continue forcing myself to only have one self-care day. The problem is I'm always worried about time running out because I feel like there's never enough time in the day for me to do everything that I want to do. But the truth is, in order for me to be the most efficient, I need to have a consistent routine every day in order for me to make the most out of my time. I guess it's just always remembering that. But because I think everything that isn't work is a waste of time, I also kind of ignore self-care and ignore to take care of the body that's working so hard for me. And who knew? Going outside, being in nature is what will make me feel good. Who knew? I left the house today. I decided I would drive to San Francisco to go to this meditation circle I used to go to when I lived in the city. I feel like it was a mistake because look, I've been driving for like a long time. I left early and I'm gonna be barely making it. Here's the thing. I don't leave the house much, and when I do, it's often an ordeal. It's not that I don't want to, I just get in this place where I'm like, ugh, it'll be so inefficient to just go outside right now, you know? I made the drive a little bit more effective and like not a waste of time by doing my vocal warm-ups and finally listening to the Artist Way chapter this week, and so it wasn't like all of a waste. I really want to be the person that makes a decision and just goes with it and doesn't have any anxiety or worry about it, you know? I keep finding myself losing the present moment. It's okay though, because I forgive you. I'm just trying to nurture my ego as I can. The outdoors help me get into the present moment better, and also in turn get me into my body and just like feelings. It's easier to be in the present moment outside. And I've been just admiring the really beautiful scenery on the drive here. And so maybe that's presence, right? Like being like, damn, these views are great. The song I'm listening to, kind of dank. And I'm gonna fucking sing along because I got nothing else better to do, right? And that's kind of true for anything, right? I have nothing else better to do than what I'm doing right now. Nothing is a waste of time because anything I have chosen to do in this moment is my choice, and so therefore it's not a waste of time. Ideally, I would love to be the type of person to like do things and then not feel guilty about them and not think of every possible outcome of what it could have been, you know, economic, what's that called? Opportunity cost. I have to continue to remind myself, in order for me to be the most effective with my time, I also need to follow a routine, but that routine also needs to include self-care. So I had to figure something else out, and that's where the afternoon and early evening routine came into play. One new event in my life is that I recently got a dog, and he's really cute. His name is Blackie, and I got him from a shelter here where I live. I've never had a dog before, and actually my dog has helped me keep a routine because, number one, I have to like consistently walk him, feed him, so he's on a schedule that I need to keep up with. And that means that I have only one option, you know, I have to work around his schedule, so therefore I have to do things at a certain time or else they're not going to get done. So it makes it so much easier for me to just like follow through on routine because I know that if I don't, I won't have time, which is the case before I got a dog. But honestly, the second good thing that came out of getting a dog is that I feel a lot more present because the dog sniffs so much, and I'm like, what's so great about the smell? So then I start smelling and I'm like, okay, it's cool. I definitely don't have the same smell buds as you. The present moment is through the breath. Hopefully like simplify your brain enough like a dog so that you can just be like dogs are. They just be, they just are, they just love. Our brains are a lot like dogs. Will automatically bring its attention to a different thing every 3 seconds. Just like a dog. A dog is like, ooh, this nice smell, and then you'll go pull it away, and then you'll be like, ooh, different nice smell. Our brains are like that. It's like, ooh, this thing that needs to be fixed. Oh, ooh, you know, we kind of do the same thing. But we can learn from the dogs, right? Because they're living in their body more than their brain. I don't know what's actually going up in their brains, but it's gotta be like 2 things: food and person that gives me food, right? If that's all the things that's going on in their brain, dogs are like living in their body because they're smelling and they can smell so well.
So what I've been thinking about is how our brains are very similar to dogs. Domestication means he has to be trained through eating treats and punishment probably, but punishment never works. Our brains, we're constantly punishing ourselves thinking that that will change things. So if I, for example, really want this habit of, I don't know, my voice exercises or something, but I can't seem to get it, I can give myself little rewards in order to make me want to do it more. Like for example, if Blackie, my dog, wants to like go a certain way, I'll just pull out a treat and be like, look, treat. And he follows me. He listens to me when there's a treat. So just like owner has to train my dog, higher self me has to train my ego self. That, you know, there's 2 of us always talking in our brains. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else but me, but I will take it as a win for myself. I guess lesson from getting a dog is routine is very important, and praise yourself, not punish. Because punishment doesn't work. Never did, never will.
So now I give myself a little chocolate every time I remember to be present. So now for my official routine. In the morning, I will drink water, do my morning pages, meditate, walk my dog, breakfast, brush teeth, to-do list. I kept it pretty much the same as it's been. The nighttime routine seems to be working for me, so I keep it exactly how it is. I clean up, I shower, I do some self-care, and I go to sleep. The place where I got a little stuck, my midday breaks. So I decided to make my breaks also the time that I take my dog out to pee. And then I do some yoga, I eat lunch, and then I'll do like 10 minutes of self-care. And then 5 p.m. I will walk my dog, do dinner, self-care. And you know what's crazy? As soon as I had this consistent schedule with my dog, I actually was more productive. I went to meditation circle, had a good time, and then I came back and I'm actually working. So this is actually more productive than if I were to not have left the house. I'm trying to learn how to wink. Okay, tell me how this is. No? Yeah, I'm embarrassed of me too. Thank you for watching this entire video. I can't believe you're still here. I really appreciate you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!